What up, everybody? I am your host, JP, and this is my co-host, Josh.
Hey, everybody.
And welcome back to another episode of the FilmBros podcast. For those joining the live stream, welcome. Thank you to all the new followers. We appreciate your guys' support here on the live stream. It's always a good time to see new followers. Also, for those podcast listeners out there, the people that are new, okay, people that haven't heard us before but catching this episode for their first time, well, guess what? We got a whole bunch of episodes that you guys can listen to and catch up with us right now. We have a few topics in this episode that really relate to old ones, and we're going to be reacting to a few trailers as well. So it's going to be great. But Josh, if you want to let them know, for those podcast listeners, where they can listen to us, if they want to interact with us, even if they want to catch a live stream or support us in a big way.
All right. Bear with me. I know I sound sick. Bear with me. FilmBros podcast, that on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We post some new episodes there. You can hit us up there for any news or movies you want us to cover. You can listen to us anywhere you get your podcast. That's Spotify, that's Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, things like that. Again, FilmBros podcast. You can support us in a big way. Buzzsprout. Link is in those bios of the socials I just gave you. Supporters get shout outs on episodes, things like that. We recognize you for helping us out. And again, you help us grow. You can follow us on Twitch for live streams and things like that. And then when it's all said and done, you can subscribe to our YouTube at FilmBros Podcast.
Yes. And if you're wondering why he's sick, he brought the disease. I'm getting sick too. Kind of irritates me. I find it to be his fault. I find it to be your fault.
It's not my fault. This only happened a few days ago. Not even a few days.
We're going to have to do a whole investigation and kind of just figure this shit out. But something that doesn't really need an investigation, because I pulled it up in like 2.3 seconds, is the tentative agreement that the WGA had gotten. Now, I don't know about you. I've been seeing all over the internet. A lot of people were saying the writers got screwed over in this agreement and all this and that and blah, 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 blah. I'm here to dead that shit right now. Because it's crazy that there's so many comments, but everybody fails to pull up a fucking web page that tells you every single thing that they agreed upon. Now, everything seems to be on the up and up. They seem to have found the middle ground. The only two that they really could not find a middle ground for was writers' rooms and AI. Those are the two that I'm guessing the AMPTP was not buckling on. I know that we talked about in the older episodes that what they were basically going to be spending, the AMPTP, the studios, how much they'd be spending when they pay the WGA and when they pay the SAG-AFTRA. Well, this is just for the WGA. The WGA proposals, when they first pitched it, was supposed to be a good chunk of their pocket. It was like $429 million a year from the AMPTP studios. What the AMPTP was offering was about $86 million a year, which was a big contrast, a big difference. I guess they found the middle ground where $233 million a year will be dumped out for the next 3 years, because it's only a 3-year process. So, one thing, the use of artificial intelligence this is what they agreed upon. To regulate use of artificial intelligence on ABA covered projects, AI generated written material is not considered literary material. Source material or assigned material under the MBA. AI is not a writer under the MBA. Writer can elect to use AI when performing writing services if the company consents, and provided writer follows applicable company policies. Company cannot require writer to use AI software when performing writing services. Company must disclose to the writer if any material given to the writer has been generated by AI or incorporates AI generated material. Guild reserves the right to assert that exploitation of writer's material to train AI is prohibited by MBA or other law. So they got what they wanted. They're not going to be used as AI. AI is not going to be taking writers' jobs. It needs to be a mutual understanding between the studios and the writer that this is what we're going to use for the AI. They cannot just go and get the writer's script or whatever, and then they dump it into AI and be like, now we made it better, you know? So that they found a common ground with AI, at least.
Which was a big deal for them. A big deal for everybody, if I'm being honest. I really feel like AI was just the one thing that they were fighting on heavy, because it's on the up and up now, and it's being everywhere. And you said before that it can create good stories and stuff, but there's also been known mistakes in them. Things like just robot sounding things, like when that college kid wrote a paper and then forgot to take out the AI being like, oh, I'm not a human being or whatever, but so on and so forth says so on and so forth.
Yeah.
They got him in trouble. And I mean, obviously, yeah, he could have just erased that portion. But, if you're not really proofreading, you're just going to hand that bitch in because you think it sounds good enough.
Yeah.
So for AI, great solve. And it's even better that they don't require that software. It's basically like, hey, you want to use AI? You go out of your own way to get the software.
Basically.
That's cool.
And it's... I guess they got to understand, when they both are able to use nukes, which is AI, they both understand that you can't just use it willy-nilly. We're going to go ahead and try to find that common ground, and when we're able to, use it, not use it, do all these things. So that's a good common ground, I find. So good thing writers got that. They did get their health care, not as much as they were asking for, but, I mean, it's a step in the right direction. I mean, you can say that they got screwed over at that point, but at least they got something. And on top of that, the AMPTP agreed to extend health coverage past the first quarter for the people that are on strike or when strikes happen. Yeah. So, I mean, they got something. Like I said, they're not – obviously, you got to ask for this much, and they're going to meet you in the middle of where they can put you.
And then give it like a year or two, and then you can renegotiate whenever.
Yeah, and it's a 3-year contract, so you could renegotiate, be like, this really helped us. We need to make it better, you know, and move on from there. Another thing that they had their hands tied was the amount of people that the streaming numbers as well. That was one thing. Now, I found this to be completely fishy because they said that they're willing to show the streaming numbers to the WGA so they can get paid fairly. They're going to get compensated like it's supposed to. $9,000 for a half-hour episode, $16,000 for a 1-hour episode, $40,000 for streaming feature, over $30 million in a budget. They have bonus structures that are going to start happening on the January 1st of 2024. They're getting a lot, but one thing that they refuse to do is allow the WGA to release the streaming numbers. Nobody can release streaming numbers. Whatever's given is given. You get paid, and that's it. It's confidential between the two of them. Why don't they want to show us the streaming numbers?
I think that'll just be problematic for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Maybe as a fan of the things you consume, it'll just be like, it's kind of like when your bosses say, hey, you can't disclose your paycheck with someone, but you go to your coworker and you're like, hey, I'm getting like 16, how much are you making? You guys work the same job, but he's getting 17. You guys started at the same time, he's getting 17, whatever. Of course, you're going to be like, what the fuck? I'm not getting nearly as much as he is. Maybe that's one of the things they're trying to keep under wraps, because actors, things like that. And yeah, we know the difference between a star, a co-star, and then, an extra. So who knows, once they release that, someone's going to be like, oh, I should be making as much as they are. I'm a prominent key in this cog, or in this machine. And it's like, that's probably what they're trying to hide. Mm-hmm. Just the paycheck thing.
So they don't have to distribute all that money to like actors and all that stuff. This is what the writers are asking for. But what if SAG-AFTRA is like, well, we want to see the numbers too? Then they're going to have to.
Well, yeah.
And then, but why keep it away from the public then at that point?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't, because I know we got different sites. I know we got a few sites that try to, like Samba TV, they'll do the most streamed and all that stuff, and then HBO Max will have their own self-proclaimed whatever's good on their same thing with Netflix, whatever's good on their site or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just off-putting for them to just want to hide it completely for me. Like, why are you guys hiding it so hard?
I don't know. It's a weird thing to ask, because we ourselves don't know. We just consume, and maybe it's just a marketing thing. Maybe this show isn't doing too well, but they'll hype it up like, oh, it's the best streamed show.
Yeah.
Then to bring in that viewership. But I don't know if it's I don't know why they're hiding it.
So lying to the consumers, huh?
That could be it.
That could be it too. That could totally be a valid reason. It is weird. I find it completely weird just for the fact that everybody knows about it except for us now. But why would you want to keep it away from the public eye?
Yeah.
Now, if you're trying to dupe them and be like, oh, this is the best flavor in our roster, and it's like, well, actually, it wasn't. You put it on top 5 most watched viewings, and I fucking
that
hated
shit was ass.
Yeah. Now the writers' room. This is where we talked about it. They were asking for 12 people. People were asking for AMPTP said no, 4 is enough, 3 people is enough. So they came down to this. They said for television or basically video on demand series, which is streaming shows and whatnot. If a development room of 3 or more writers is convened, minimum staff of 3 writer producers is required. Development rooms 20 weeks or longer. First season minimum staff size of 3 writers, writer producers. Subsequent seasons minimum staff size is based on anticipated episode order. Post greenlight rooms. So if it's 6 episodes and up, it's 3 writers and 3 producers. If it's 7 to 12 episodes, 5 writers and 3 producers. And if it's 13 plus episodes, 6 writers and 3 writer producers. And that's all the terms and everything will come in post December. Actually, this December, December 1st, and then minimum staff guaranteed for at least 10 consecutive weeks to work on television. That's the duration of how long they're going to be around. The minimum staff must be guaranteed at least 20 weeks of the duration of the post-greenlight room, which is shorter weeks worked in pre-greenlight room may be credited against 20-week guaranteed. So you have the regular time that you're writing, and then after everything's shot, filmed, and we're done, and they have to do rewrites, reshoots, whatever, they need to be available to come back. So they got to be paid 20 weeks after, so they don't have to be coming for freebies, if that makes sense. Oh, your script isn't good enough. You need to come back. But I'm doing this for free. Why are you making me write it for free? And that's basically it. Everything else, you guys can go ahead and look up. They show you the cap, the earnings. They tell you everything. I don't personally feel like they got screwed over. I don't know how it's gonna look when SAG-AFTRA, because they're gonna start negotiations on Monday, tomorrow. For the podcast listeners, it was a Monday.
And he was sharing it and like. Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like they got cheated. It sounds fair. It sounds like a first step in the right direction. And again, they can totally renegotiate all this stuff in 3 years or so.
Yeah.
And if somewhere down the line they don't hold up their side of the bargain, well then they'll cross that bridge when they get there. But this is a good step. I don't think they were cheated at all. I think people were just like they don't know what they're talking about half the time.
No, like I said, they. It seems to me like they just didn't want to pull up the damn webpage.
Basically.
But I pulled it up in like 10 minutes. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And even less, maybe 5. It's ridiculous to me because, they spread these rumors, they spread all this stuff, and it's like, oh, they got screwed over, Bro, it doesn't seem like they got screwed over. Why would they sign a deal that's going to screw them over?
Basically,
they were on strike for this long. They could have lasted longer. The Rock gave them money. Everybody's basically was on strike. Drew Barrymore jumped the gun. Now she's in trouble. It's like, I mean, they wouldn't have signed this contract and made this deal if it wasn't lucrative to them.
Exactly. They turned down so many things. They walked away from the table so many times. There's no way that they were just going to accept some bogus thing.
Is it what they wanted 100%? No. We can admit to that. It's not what they wanted 100%, but that's what I mean. You gotta give a little. You gotta take a bit. You know what I mean? That's how it is. You give a little, they take a bit. They take a bit, you give a little, and 50-50. Meet halfway.
I mean, and I think they want even more because the biggest thing that they were fighting against was the AI stuff.
Yeah.
So
once they were buckled.
Yeah. So once they were like, hey, we're not budging once. So if we hear you think about replacing it with AI, and once the AMPTP was like, whoa. We'll take it off the table then. The AMPTP folded.
The way they when the negotiations were happening and everybody was like stressed out and they were like, "Oh, this is our best and final offer." I was like, "Is it though?" Because they could walk away at any time right now and just be like, "Yeah, we're not gonna sign this shit."
It's not your best and final offer, my ass.
Yeah,
I'm sure it would have delayed things for a while, but
I'm sure a new offer would have.
Yeah, it would have. Eventually, they would have continued talks.
100%, but. Like I said, SAG-AFTRA is going to be continuing the conversation this Monday. Marvel Studios is getting writers for X-Men already. I know that Jeff Snyder decided to post basically some exclusive saying that obviously Marvel's reading with writers. X-Men's one of them. I guess that is in the works. Fantastic Four. James Gunn is meeting with writers. We'll be getting to him in a little bit. for his DC movies. Universal's meeting with writers to discuss franchises. Paramount meeting with writers to discuss top secret development projects. So
everything's coming back together.
Everything is coming back to life. Some other people are coming back to life too. We're gonna have to talk about that. You don't really want to talk about too. So I mean, but
damn,
you got to take the good with the bad sometimes, I guess. Marvel Studios currently meeting with writers to discuss X-Men and where they're gonna go with the X-Men and how they're gonna incorporate them within the larger MCU. Now, there's a bunch of rumors going around saying that Secret Wars is gonna be the last MCU project until it completely reboots and starts a new kind of like flashpoint for the MCU, and that Hugh Jackman might be Wolverine and just be Wolverine up until that reboot, and then they'll just redo everything again with X-Men at the end of it. That we won't even see the X-Men until after 2025, except for like Wolverine and whatnot, just the the basic characters. That supposedly Secret Wars is supposed to be a wrap up for everything Marvel that came before it, the Fox Marvel, MCU, everything, and then they're gonna start fresh, brand new, basically do what James Gunn is doing and trying to interconnect everything into one flowy thing.
That sounds cool. I think it might be time to reboot. 10 plus years of Marvel or the MCU coming to an end. It does have to. I think it does have to sort of.
So you're for a reboot?
Yeah, I was saying that for a while. Either that or like while the MCU goes, like have standalone movies again, because I would prefer that stuff too. Explore the things that we haven't gotten to explore from comic book heroes and stuff. Like I've always wanted to push for a superior Iron Man movie, like things like that. As far as the X-Men, I hope they change up the team. Like I hope it's not the generic people we saw on the Fox universe.
The original lineup?
Yeah, like I hope they spice it up. Like it's been through like several iterations now, and the X-Men team in the comics now, there's some people there, but it isn't the same lineup from those movies. You had Storm, things like that.
Who's the OG lineup? It's Storm, Cyclops, Wolverine, Beast.
Yeah.
Is Beast an OG?
Yes, he is.
Beast,
Angel. Yeah, I want to say Jean, and then Charles.
Jean and Charles?
Well, like Charles, quote unquote Charles.
So in the original X-Men, they didn't have Angel and they didn't have Beast until the third
didn't
one.
show up till the third one.
And so did Beast as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, Beast was part of First Class, but Angel wasn't a part of any of that, right? So
he came in Apocalypse, and then I don't think we've seen him in.
He came back in Apocalypse, but he was evil in that one.
No, he was in. That was like the first time we seen him in Apocalypse, and then I don't think he was in Phoenix.
Yeah, that was it. We only seen him in X-Men 3 and in that one.
Yeah.
So look, X-Men. I want to see X-Men 2, and I know a lot of people. Their big gripe was the fact that we're gonna have to wait until 2025 to see him. That we're obviously gonna get the Fox characters back. I know Ian McKellen was somebody that they're anticipating to come back as Magneto, Michael Fassbender, Professor Xavier. That all these people are gonna be making a return, but people want to see what's next for the X-Men. I think we're all at that point too,
basically. And
I don't think waiting until after 2025 is the right call, in my opinion. But I do think that they do got to go through a whole wash period, because this whole Phase 4 and Phase 5 is staining their reputation, I would say.
Yeah. Kevin needs to take a step back and reevaluate things.
I heard that he's doing that. But if we're going to get a reboot regardless at the end of everything, introducing new characters, doing all this stuff, and then just for them to not be around after Secret Wars or whatever, it just seems pointless at that point. Like, I mean, I was pushing for. I thought after Endgame we were just gonna get that whole reboot. I was pushing for that since Endgame.
Yeah,
and I was thinking, okay, we already got to the climactic point. Like, how are you gonna bring us back? And I had faith in Marvel that they were gonna do something good with it. But it just been letting me down ever since then. Yeah. So reboot, sure, maybe do it, or whoever stole the idea. I'm pretty sure James stole the idea from Fahey, or maybe Fahey's taking it from James. Who knows? But we're starting anew. Figure out where the pieces are gonna go. Have that merge into games, animation. Imagine the how booming it would be if you can start anew. Now, I know some people don't want to see origin stories again, but would you be okay with seeing a couple origin stories one more time?
Origin stories of characters we haven't seen before. That's about it.
What if they go through the Iron Man origin story again?
No.
But it's a different Iron Man.
Well, yeah, but
it's not RDJ.
Well, yeah, but we still know the gist of how he gets all that stuff or what he goes through. I think they should start off characters established, kind of not. I was gonna say kind of like Spider-Man, but not really like him either, unless they're gonna totally fuck it all up somewhere down the line. But like if they had to do Daredevil or like other people that like they don't know, if that makes any sense, that haven't gotten their time to shine. Like I know they're starting to do that. Like we got She-Hulk's thing and whatever else, but like X-Men and stuff like that, like not a lot of people know their origin. Granted, the Fox movies never really dipped into that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But I would have liked to seen that. That like we're getting the Fantastic Four's origin for the MCU hopefully soon. I don't know if Blade's gonna be an origin story. I hope not.
I'm pretty sure. It's been a long time since we've seen Blade on the big screen. That has to deserve an origin story.
Like I want to see a story for like OG Iron Fist. Like I know we've seen him, but I don't want to.
You think they're bringing back that Iron Fist from the Netflix?
I hear he's been getting ripped to possibly come back, and we know Bernthal's coming back. So
yeah, Charlie Cox is back. We know that girl's coming back too. What's her name? Forgot her name. Who? Have you ever watched that show? Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones. I was like, what chick? I was gonna say
Jones.
Echo. I was like, who's talking about?
I hope Luke Cage comes back too.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, I like him.
But yeah, Echo having a 2024 release is crazy.
Yeah, and they still
like fast track that bitch.
And they're still planning to have it binge.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's scary.
That's interesting.
They like totally abandoned that show.
I'm telling you, man, they had no faith in it. Same thing with. I'm pretty sure the same. Well, I don't know. Apparently, Fahey really cared about Agatha.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Why would we give two fucks about her?
I don't know, but he really had like some. From what I'm hearing, from what people reported, he's sounds cooking? Like he's not cooking. Like he's in love with this character for some reason.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like when Agatha all along was like happening. Like, he was very hyped.
I think the internet swayed his ass because it was a lot of like, oh, you know, we unironically like this song.
We all knew she was a villain.
Yeah,
we all knew. There was like Agatha all along. Yeah, we know.
We didn't know she killed the dog, but damn.
Yeah. What'd she do? Twist his neck? Why didn't they show that? That would have been cool.
That would have been fuck. That would have been terrible.
Just
like damn, we gonna put these characters through development.
Yeah, exactly. And then that could have been like a horror movie scene for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 on that one planet.
Damn, crazy.
You see what I'm saying? Like that? Come on.
Nah, man, you don't want to be a part of that.
No, I don't want to be a part of that mess.
Yeah, no. But I waiting until 2025 to see X-Men again is insane. Like I think that's so dumb. Because I know if Fox still had that bitch, we would have gotten more, good or bad, regardless. But we would have had some by now.
Okay, to be fair, it sounds like we're not getting X-Men, but we're getting our old X-Men until 2025. That's what it sounds like. We're gonna see in Deadpool 3. We're gonna see all the Fox characters.
Do you want a new like Logan, or do you want like X-23?
I want a new Logan. But that's because I grew up with Logan. And I kind of want I know a lot of people are like, oh, we want the comic accurate Short King Logan, whatever, blah, blah. I don't care about that. I just kind of want to see him interacting with, like, Iron Man and interacting with Captain America. That's why my thing was, I knew they didn't have the rights for X-Men, so I wasn't really worried about it at the time. But once they acquired Fox, I was like, my thing was, well, now when are we going to be able to see them talk to each other?
Yeah.
These guys are dead now.
What's that game called? Like Ultimate Alliance type stuff.
Yeah, I want to see all that stuff. I want to see them interact. Fantastic Four. I can't wait to see Reed Richards finally talk to somebody that's not a main character in his movie. Like I want to see, I want to see somebody else involved. Like one thing that I do, I'm telling you, we're at the cusp, bro. We're almost there. Was that one deleted scene in Fantastic Four when he made the Hugh Jackman like Wolverine face when he was over here like, oh, I'm not manly enough or whatever, and they totally deleted it. Yeah, that would have been so cool to have like seen that as a child. But you know, you got what you wanted as a kid, and I got it when I was a teenager. So I guess who went through more abuse?
That's funny.
Yeah, but you got the MCU and you're over here crying. I don't want to.
What?
That's right. That's right. You got the X-Men right here, bro. At the palm of your hand, bro. I had a wish in my dreams like this with my hands together. Lord, please be a day where Iron Man, Captain America, X-Men, all the Logan people, whatever, Thor, all them can meet. I got it when I was a teenager. He was like, your prayers are answered. Belated, though. Your prayers were answered as soon as you were born. You were just like, oh, Iron Man and Captain America talking to each other. This shit's not cinema. Like, what the fuck? How do you do that as a baby? That's not cool. I feel like I did it all right.
The first Avengers is in cinema.
You don't what?
Yeah.
I swear. See, and it's people like you. It's people like you.
The first one is in cinema.
It has
not held up.
First of all, it did not hold up. I will say that. But it is cinema.
Looks
You're
like
not gonna tell me the first ever superhero team up film with like well-known characters
like
where you saw it built up is not peak cinema.
It's not peak cinema. It looks like a sitcom. It's shaded weird and things like that. Joss Whedon, thank you for giving it to us, but it hasn't aged like fine wine.
First of all, don't ever think that man again. I'm not saying him.
What? He made it.
I get it.
You were kind of just glazing it for a second right now.
I'm not going to say his name. He's like the boogeyman or like Candyman or something. You don't say that. You don't say his name in the mic 3 times. He'll pop up right here.
What the?
Yeah.
Like,
your face is going to end up in Wonder Woman's boobs somehow. Oh, wait. Pause.
I don't. I think
that.
I prefer Age of Ultron over the first one.
Well,
I know they say
obviously, well, yeah, because that one got more production value, but the first one was like groundbreaking. That scene in the forest where Thor fucking lights up Iron Man's suit and he gets more power from that. That's iconic. That is iconic. Thou weareth mother's drapes in the park, bro. That is iconic. RDJ bannering with Thor, like the medieval Thor. That was nice. That was clean stuff. Captain,
blinded by nostalgia.
Fucking Steve Rogers walking out of the jet saying like there's only one God, ma'am, and I don't think he's dressed like that. Fucking straps his shield and jumps out the damn plane. Cleanest, hardest line I've ever seen in my life in a movie, bro. You're not gonna fucking disrespect the Avengers.
I think you're glazing this movie a little too hard. I don't know. I just think
you have a tear in your eye for me just talking about it.
What?
It's dripping.
This is ridiculous. That's unrelated. No.
My eye's just juicy.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Oh my god. Anyways, but yeah, we're gonna be getting to that point. We're gonna be getting an X-Men eventually. We're gonna be getting what I've been praying for since I was a child, and you're just gonna shit on it like it's a natural fucking Tuesday or something.
That's right. No.
like it's a morning dump or whatever, I guess. That's fine. But moving on, because I just want to jump this mic on you right now. We did talk about Halloween being discussed, and we were hoping that it was going to be a movie, but apparently A24 is leading the bidding war for the TV rights to make it a TV show. Now, we already know, I think we talked about it last week. We thought Paramount was in the rights for the movies, and I'm pretty sure that's probably the case. Paramount's probably leading the charge for movies, but for the TV film rights is going to... It's a big mumbled up, jumbled mess. John Carpenter had the rights in the beginning. Obviously, Miramax helped produce it with the help of Mustafa Akkad.
Yeah.
The three of them moved together in unison until the third movie, where he signed the rights. John Carpenter signed the rights away to Mustafa Akkad and Miramax. Miramax basically owns the TV rights, but TV is obviously worked by somebody else. And that's by Trancas, the sole owner of the television rights. From what we understand, there is a massive bidding war, it says right here, going on for the television rights right now, with several different parties interested and eyeing for the chance to bring Michael Myers back to life. We're hearing exclusively that A24 and Miramax are the two main parties currently in battle for the TV rights, and that A24 is currently leading the charge. So Miramax wants to put it on their own little TV site, which I think it's like a Lionsgate extension. That is probably not going to happen. A24 is signed with Apple TV, so they would probably get more coverage from streaming from Apple TV. I don't know, man. I kind of want it as a movie. If they wound up doing it as a movie, but then going ahead and having a TV show right underneath it, it could be kind of like what they're doing with Godzilla right now, with the Legacy of Monsters.
Yeah,
They're just trying to find a home to put the TV series, and then we're gonna see TV and movie go together.
Yeah.
But on Paramount's dime. But Apple might not be too happy about. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this either. I don't want a TV show of Michael. Like I feel like regardless of how well the Chucky one is probably doing, I haven't seen it, or how well the Jason Voorhees one will do. I don't know if I want to see Michael on TV. Not like that. Like I want to, like, he deserves full movie coverage, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think, not to say the Chucky is diluted or whatever, but I would feel it would dilute him a little bit.
I think they do get diluted, but at the same time, I was thinking about this last time when we were talking about it after the episode, and it sucks to say. Maybe it's just a harsh way of saying it, but once properties become old, there's no revival for them anymore. It's time to, if they can't adapt, it's time for the TV treatment. And I say that because Chucky is one that you couldn't take seriously anymore. So what they do, they put him on TV, and I've seen the show. It's pretty good. They give the people development while adding the lore and the extras in the background. You give Chucky some development. You give the actual the victims some more coverage than what a regular movie would do, because you'd probably see them for like 20 minutes and then boom, they're dead in the next 25-30 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, I feel like it does good for these older properties that can't really ignite the fandom, like, because Jason Voorhees was scary back in the day. Michael Myers was scary back in the day. Freddy Krueger was scary back in the day. But how do you innovate? How do you make it more scary for the people that are here today? Smile, right? Smile is an innovative property. Yeah. Scream, good thing for them that they were able to keep. Scream is a versatile character where you can modernize and keep up with the times.
Yeah.
Paranormal. A lot of people, if you notice, a lot of companies lean more that way because, yes, it's scary to have people break into your home, but you could stop them with a 9-gauge, right? So it's kind of easy. Whereas paranormal stuff, it's very hard to get around that, so it makes it scarier. Jump scares are able to happen a little bit more fluently, stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. I just think older properties, once they get to the point where they just can't innovate, the TV treatment is what it is. And it's so ironic because Mustafa Akkad was trying to stop that TV treatment for so many years. Malik Akkad, same thing, his son. Yeah. And now here we're at the point where it might just be the right option in the time of streaming.
I get what you're saying. I just don't like it.
yeah, man, I don't like it either.
Because it's weird. Because I mean, I don't think it fails to innovate. I think after 2018 and we got that little trilogy, I think that was innovative. Mm-hmm. I just the third one managed to fumble, and I get that.
Some might say the second one fumbled and the third.
Well, you're the wrong. But it's not so much of like maybe it's not so much innovation, it's just how do you, well, I guess it is innovation. Keep the story fresh, things like that. But I mean, we know Michael's story. And again, those movies just came out. The oldest one was 2018, so on and so forth. I don't know. I just don't want to see him on TV.
I think we talked about this, but I don't think I heard your side of it. Would you be open to Laurie not being connected to Michael?
What do you mean?
Like him not having a connection to Laurie. Or maybe Laurie just being dead and him doing whatever he needs to do now. Yeah. Yeah.
I think after that whole Laurie thing, he should move on. And he should continue his whole thing. Kind of like, I guess, keep him like Jeepers Creepers almost. Just every year.
But what kind of motivation can like Michael have? Like, he's on a journey to find his voice?
Well, if he's... What?
Yeah. Like, he's just like, you know what? I don't want to be a killer anymore. And, you know, I can't speak. So maybe I should just look for my voice.
It's not that he can't speak. He just chooses not to speak.
That means he can't speak.
What?
Yeah.
No.
If you're choosing not to speak, you can't do it.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. You're just scared now. Michael's scared and he's shy, and that's why he wears a mask.
He doesn't sound like a man.
No. Hi, guys. I'm here to kill you now. That's what he probably sounds like.
No. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think he needs motivation. Or again, if this is the way they're going, I guess the anthology series would be the best way to take it.
Michael doesn't need motivation.
No.
So why is he killing?
He's just evil.
That's true.
He's just evil. He's one of the ones that we talk about where evil just needs to be evil. That's him.
He just wakes up on Wednesday and is like, I gotta slaughter this school real quick. Hold on,
damn,
guys.
I woke up extra hater today.
Stubs toe on corner. He's like, fuck, I'm gonna kill that bitch next door now. Like,
I gotta take my anger out somewhere. Come here, like, you know what I mean?
No, man.
Motivation
needs to happen.
It does become a problem though, because he can't come out every year, right? Because Haddonfield is a small town as is. They'd have to innovate by taking him out of Haddonfield at some point.
That's what I'm saying. Everything that he's all about is connected to Haddonfield, Lori. That's the thing, is that they confine them to this box, right? And people can't see him without these two other things. You can't see Michael Myers without Laurie Strode. You can't see Michael Myers without Haddonfield. You know, they put him in this little Chucky. Yeah. He's been through different people. He goes all over the place. He's just a doll that roams, if that makes sense. I know they made a new Hellraiser too. They brought Hellraiser back and they made her a female. Mm-hmm. I think some people didn't like it. I personally didn't mind it. It was actually pretty good. But like, that was one person that needed innovation, and I don't think that they hammered that in all the way with Hellraiser, because of the fact that there's certain things that need to happen in order for Hellraiser to come out. Yeah. And they just completely steered, or kept it kind of the same, but steered it in a different direction that people weren't really vibing with. So if they do the same thing with Michael in a TV show, it might be worse. I mean, like I said, it might do good if it's streaming, like on Apple TV or whatever. I don't know who watches Apple TV. But if not, and it's just a regular FX show or whatever the fuck, it's like that'll be its downfall right there.
Well, I guess it wouldn't need to hold up the integrity of the movies regardless, like kill wise and all that. Like I'd hope to see like Halloween's kill level kills in a TV show like that.
No, you wouldn't, unless unless it's streaming. If it's streaming, they could do it.
That's why I know. If A24 is producing it and whatever, like, I'd prefer them go all out like that.
A24 is gonna be
otherwise it'll be diluting it for sure.
A24 is gonna have Michael like, I'm gonna psychologically kill you. All right,
I'm telling you,
I'm gonna fuck with your mind.
Some kid's gonna be taking psychedelics and it's just gonna be like, wait, that shape don't look right, and then he's gonna die. Yeah. We know your plan, A24. Yeah, we know
what you're cooking up already.
Yeah,
I don't want
same ingredients.
Better pizza, Papa John's. Oh, is that not the?
I almost spit on my water.
Is that not it?
That's that's how it goes.
Yeah, okay.
But I wasn't thinking that when I said what I said.
Oh no, you don't think about random like TV commercials sometimes?
I don't think about Papa John's. He's racist.
Not Papa.
Yeah, he says the N-word.
Wait, how do you know
Papa
that?
Racist. He said it on live before.
When he like delivered a pizza? Here you go. Here you go, N-word.
just hate crime somebody. Here's your pizza. Like, no, he got caught saying it, and then he went on hiatus. I think he resigned as the spokesperson, and then he recently came back in the light as the spokesperson.
He was like, "Oh, the N-word washed away. It's time. I hope I don't do it again."
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's hilarious. Moving on though. Mathew Vaughn. Now we're gonna be reacting to one of his trailers later on, but we're getting to the DC side first. Mathew Vaughn, I guess, was in talks with, because he's under Nolan's production company.
Yeah.
To maybe produce the next James Bond movie, but apparently he's committed to a DC project that he can't do that. And this is coming from a World of Real report. It says, the report states, if Nolan declines Eon's offer to direct Bond, then the production company will have to start the process of looking for potential Helmers again. As the once rumored Mathew Vaughn is out, as he's committed to the DC universe for the immediate future. At the time of writing, it is unknown if Vaughn is attached to one of the previous announced projects in the DCU or something else entirely. What do you think about that?
Interesting.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So speculation time in my head. So Mathew Vaughn being attached to movies and attached to DC, we haven't heard before that he was going to be a part of DC at all. And then I started thinking, what movies has Mathew Vaughn directed? He did The Kingsman. He did X-Men First Class. He's doing the new Argyle movie. He did Kick-Ass. So he has a lot under his belt. But one movie in particular that stood out to me, and one other leaked rumor that came out, was that an exclusive report. This is from DCU Leaks. A report projecting a project adapting Tom King's Strange Adventures is in early development for the DCU. Eddie Gathegi signed on to reprise his role as Mr. Terrific pre-SAG strike. So I'm thinking that Mathew Vaughn might be doing this Strange Adventures movie if this is a accurate report. Only because he's worked with his character before in X-Men First Class. He was the guy that could not die but then wound up dying. Who is playing Mr. Terrific for the DCU. Okay. We had found out about this casting months before. You know, with the dude on Twitter, he was seasoning himself, you know. That's what I'm thinking. After these leaks came out, I kind of made a connection. I was like, he worked with him before. He could be doing another team-up movie with him, a part of it, Mr. Terrific. And I don't know. What do you think? Too far-fetched or?
Makes sense. Could be a thing. I don't know. I really don't know how to piece it all together. It's weird how all this stuff comes to light. If it's undisclosed, wouldn't they have just been like, "Hey, he's doing it"? If Strange Adventures is already like confirmed, wouldn't they just tie his name to it?
Oh, you can't. It's still SAG strikes going on.
Oh, but he's a director.
Yeah, but you can't. And we're gonna get to it in a minute right now. But if you notice, James Gunn was kind of dry before, right? He didn't say nothing. He didn't talk about anything. There were certain things you can't do when a movie is in early development, because the only way that you can really promote said movie is if you say that these actors are attached to it and say these writers or whatever, this plot storyline, blah, blah, blah. So pre-strike, he probably had signed them on, but there was no writing credits or anything. So now the writers are back in the room, and that's where these leaks are coming from, because they're starting to develop that movie. But him as a director, if James Gunn were to be like, oh, Mathew Vaughn's going to be directing this movie, then people are going to be like, well, who's attached to it? Who's writing it? And it would have been this big ass ordeal that it wasn't going to work out. So until that SAG strike's over, I don't think we're going to hear 100% everything that's happening. But I'm sure since the writers are back in the room, if they're already pitching scripts for this movie, that's where word's going to get out.
Okay. That makes sense. I could see it happening. Or it could totally be a different project in general.
It could be. A Mathew Vaughn style within the DCU might make me like it.
Like, yeah, give him someone badass that could clear out our room, kind of like the Kingsman did. Deathstroke, that would be cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure what have you read this comic before?
Strange Adventures.
I heard it's an obscure comic and it has obscure characters. You know, James Gunn Stinge.
Yeah, no. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this before either.
A lot of people in the comics are like this guy right here in the top spot. All Tom King stories with less known characters should be adapted. Supergirl is confirmed. I hope the same happens for Strange Adventures, Mr. Miracle, and Human Target.
Who the fuck?
Why? So the characters could be destroyed again? Somebody underneath it. It's funny, but it's the truth. That's what James Gunn does. He picks up these obscure characters and brings them into light. And
yeah, he wrote a whole book about them.
Oh yeah, you saw that?
Ridiculous.
How he so happened to put out an encyclopedia right after the WGA strike is over. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
It just so happens.
Yep.
You know, it's okay. I understand that people are still gonna do their work on the low. I get that. No, there's no cameras behind closed doors. Obviously, people are gonna be doing their shit regardless. I'm sure Gunn was doing rewrites for Legacy while during the strike too.
Yeah.
He won't come out and admit it. Well, why would you incriminate yourself like that, right? So I'm not saying that it's terrible, because I'm sure these writers as well, even though they were off work, I'm pretty sure they had some listing of whatever is going to happen in Hollywood. And
they were cooking.
As soon as the light said green, they took it straight to the studios and they started talking. So I mean, you can't really be mad at the guy for doing that 100%, but at the same time, you can tell. Like, you can't make it blatantly obvious like that. And you're going to see right now how blatantly obvious it is, because he is also coming out saying that there is a bunch of characters that are going to be the same. Like, he basically came out and just started talking all over again, all over Threads, actually.
Yes.
He's keeping off of Twitter. He is so scared of Twitter, man. It's hilarious. He basically got asked a bunch of questions, and I have all the threads screenshotted right here.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so I have them all right here. I'll go ahead and I'll read them off for you. So somebody comes up and on his threads asks, I'm wondering, how does the Blue Beetle movie factor in at this point in time? In the past, had said it was included in the new DCU, but some statements are conflicting. Will it have any relation to the future projects, i.e. the Booster Gold show, wink, ? James Gunn responds, Zolo Marduena will continue playing Blue Beetle in the DCU, as Viola Davis will Amanda Waller and John Cena will Peacemaker. You want to comment on that one before I move on?
Doesn't make any sense. Keep going.
All right. He replies on Threads to another user saying, you said the DC Studios movies and canon start with Superman Legacy. I and many others are still confused. James Gunn responded by saying nothing is canon until Creature Commandos next year, a sort of aperitif to the DCU, and then a deeper dive into the universe with Superman Legacy. After that, it is a very human drive to want to understand everything all the time. But I think it's okay to be confused on what's happening in the DCU, since no one has seen anything from the DCU yet.
Oh, boy.
What do you think?
That makes no sense. Oh, James Gunn, you fool.
Come on, give me your thoughts.
I know everybody was defending this when it first came out, and I was like, how? How the fuck does that make any sense, man? The characters returning, sure, Peacemaker, whatever. But how can you say that some character plot lines will be the same or and intertwined from before, but it's all supposed to be fresh? Like, how does that work?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what this. He said a sort of aperitif to the DCU. That's what he says in the quote. Saying like an opening. That means like an opening to the DCU, right? Like you can have an open interpretation, and then get a deeper dive, right? Like you can think, oh, this is happening, but not until movies come out after will you get that deeper dive and find out where everything is supposed to be set and what is canon and what's not canon.
Okay.
He goes on to say, and yes, some actors will be playing the characters they've played in other stories, and some plot points might be consistent with plot points from the dozens of films, shows, and animated projects that have come from DC in the past. But nothing is canon until DC and Legacy. And he puts that little mermaid emoji after Legacy every single time. I'm just wondering what that means. So now a lot of people are confused about that, because I don't think a lot of people Google what aperitif was, and I don't think a lot of people really understand what he means through text. You can't really talk to people through Twitter or Threads or whatever and get people to understand.
Yeah.
So you're just talking in the air. But he says different plot points from different animation movie shows. So you might see an origin story yet again, but it's going to be told in a different way. And there might be certain plot points that are the same. Like Superman dying is a plot point. Or let's say Superman dying is a plot point, right? Superman dying is a plot point. Like Kent, his father, is a plot point. Superman's home is a plot point. You know what I mean? Like certain things can happen that were the same.
Yeah.
But other things are going to be different. So you can see that Superman left his home planet because it exploded. And that happens in every single universe. So this one is obviously going to still rip off that, but his journey is going to be different, kind of thing. Does that make sense for you? Or
that makes sense, but at the same time, is it really that same concept if Peacemaker's getting a season 2 and we know that's supposed to continue off the DCEU, and assuming Blue Beetle is part of the DCU, things like that, like, you know what I mean? If these things are set in the DCEU and they carry on to the DCU, that's cherry picking still.
Yeah, because if you get Peacemaker season 2, we have the Justice League at the end of that fucking movie,
Yeah.
man. So it's like we have Aquaman and Ezra Miller.
That's
Are
not
they
our
coming
Justice
back?
League.
Are they bringing them back?
Yeah.
Like, this is where it gets confusing for the people that are super invested. General audiences, they're gonna be, I feel, even more confused, right?
Yeah.
And this is what this user says as well. Seriously though, why would we invest time and effort in yet another shared universe? Just build on what's already there with slight course corrections as needed. James Gunn replied with, if you think of anything as investing time and effort no matter what shared universe, you definitely shouldn't be. Every story should be enjoyed and working and worth partaking in and itself without its attachment to an outside world. If it feels like homework, screw it. Shared universes should add fun to the individual stories, not the other way around. The individual stories and characters are much more important to me than the connections between them. Does that ease your mind a little bit? There was a few things in there from James Gunn. Does this give you a little bit more appreciation or a little bit more hint that he's taking some time and actually caring about these characters?
Depends on the characters. You know what I mean? Depends on what aspect of which he's handling them. The way he handled everything else up until this point, or I guess Superman, I haven't really enjoyed. And it's obscure characters that really give him his place because no one's heard of so and so since the fucking 80s. Of course, it's easy to revamp or whatever, and then comics will pick up that interpretation and just put him in through the comics right now.
Mm-hmm.
But Superman's been around since forever.
Yeah.
The last couple of comics, he's been doing some crazy shit, and there's no way that you could be like, oh, this Superman is different because of A, B, and C, but we know Superman is known for X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's easy to take someone obscure and be like, oh no, yeah, he's different now. He's cool. He's with the times, you know. He's with the shits. Like it's different. So of course, he's gonna put time and care and effort, or whatever, to change someone we haven't known since, again, the 70s or 80s. But can he do the same with known characters? That's
like
the issue.
Superman and all them.
Batman, Wonder Woman, things like that.
That is going to be the issue, and that's going to be the problem. Maybe that's why he has Andy Muschietti at the helm. But in all realness, like, I try, and I want to give James Gunn his fair shake. That's the only thing for me. This is me trying to convince you to give him his fair shake. I know it's not really working. I know that you're very stuck on the way that you are, and that's fine. And that's because of the fact that he's done you dirty for so long, and for some reason you got beef with him. Can't wait for you to Twitter beef with him. It's going to be great. Can't wait for that day.
When I read it, the day he replies to my tweets, I'm going to light him up. I'm going to be like...
And you know he's going to read it.
Yeah.
You know he's going to read it.
I'm going to be able to see the viewers. I'm going to be like, James Gunn, I know you one of these. I know you won't respond, coward. Like, oh man, I can't wait to get his attention.
Damn. Hopefully he doesn't pull a fucking Dylan Dennis on you and just starts...
He starts pulling up
a big... Oh, God. He's going to get his people on you real quick. James Gunn is confusing people, bringing certain people back. I thought it was a hard reboot, but he seems to be insistent on doing a partial reboot or a soft reboot, which is ridiculous. I think we should just completely wipe the slate clean, but I know he can't let go of his wife. I know he can't let go of his characters, and that's going to be his downfall. In my opinion, I'm hoping for the best, but for a fact, his downfall will be these characters that he insists on wanting to bring over from what he started before. And I get it. It's your creation. It's your baby. You helped it out. But if you don't make it make sense when the movie comes out, because it's just confusing as hell. Creature Commandos and all that stuff is just confusing as fuck right now. And for you to rely your beginning of your universe on a animated Creature Commandos TV show and Superman Legacy, it's like, is that a joke? Are you joking with me?
Yeah. Watch Creature Commandos be like really good because we don't know those fucking characters, and then watch 50-50 chance. I'll give you that he fucks up Superman.
But we're hoping for the best.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. Right. As long as you said it, we'll keep moving on. Good luck, James Gunn. Can't wait to see what happens. But Netflix being sued for a Rebel Moon game from Evil Genius Games. They are suing the Netflix company for their gaming contract. Now, there's a whole video. It's right here. I'll play it right now. I'll try to give you the gist of it. It's like a 3-minute video. Apparently, Netflix hired these people. They did some development on the game, and then wound up taking their shit and not hiring them afterwards, saying that they exploited their game. That they let out information before, but he was just promoting it at a certain Gamescom or something like that. But I'll let you watch it so you can understand.
This is the tabletop game that Zack Snyder was talking about.
Mm-hmm. The one that's coming from Tabletop Games now. Yeah. It's not coming from Evil Monkey Genius.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Dave Scott, and I'm the CEO and founder of Evil Genius Games. We make tabletop role-playing games based on famous movie franchises. Earlier this year, we were approached by Zack Snyder and Netflix in order to create a tabletop role-playing game based on the Rebel Moon franchise. And as you can probably imagine, we were over the moon. We were excited to work directly with Zack Snyder to help fulfill his vision and to make this universe come to life. In fact, he said that this is one of the most exciting projects that he was on because it allowed him and us to be able to fill in the four corners of the universe so that more storytelling can actually happen. So we got to work. We hired some of the best world builders, some of the best writers, some of the best game designers, and we really put together an amazing product. 3 things came out of our work. 1, a player's handbook. 2nd, a game master's guide. And 3rd is a world Bible, combined, totaling over 1,000 pages of history and detail, spanning all the way back to 10,000 years of history for the Rebel Moon world. Of course, we were surprised to find out a month later that they canceled our contract. And they said that not only are we going to take and keep all of the stuff that you wrote, but we're also not going to pay you for it. Their argument was that we breached confidentiality. And what they're referring to is that we actually went to an industry-wide trade show called Gamma Expo in April, and where both of us flew out and co-presented our presentation on the role-playing game in front of hundreds and hundreds of retailers. We told the retailers about the game, we told them what to expect, and we encouraged them to pre-purchase the product. Months later, we were surprised to hear that they claimed that as being a breach of confidentiality. We've asked them to sort of come to the table and help try to resolve this, but they won't. And now, as of today, we are actually suing them in order to make sure that 3 things happen. 1, they acknowledge our participation in the building of the world. 2, that they actually pay us fairly for the work that we did. And 3, that they've released this game because it's amazing and you all should be able to play it. Now, of course, they probably think that we're just a small minority-owned business and they can push us around. And that's where they were wrong. And we ask each and every one of you to help us in being able to let them know that they were wrong by being able to do some of the things that are here on this page, like sign our petition, like post on social media, basically to let Netflix know how you feel about their decision and give them some advice on what they should do next. Thank you very much, and may you always roll 20s.
Damn.
So here's my thing. I understand. I feel like they were wrongfully done too.
Yeah.
For Netflix to just take their stuff and kind of like move on, and kind of leave them over a month. But here's my thing, and maybe this is where he's missing out on himself. My understanding is that this Rebel Moon game is for Netflix because they have a game hub, right? And he said that he was meeting with other retailers and other like video game industry people, Sony, all those people, whatever, talking about this game that he's basically trying to hype up. But Netflix probably want it under wraps because their gaming section is so young. They don't want to give out any information where people could take it and take the ideas and then keep it, right? And I think that's where the breach of contract came in, because he was meeting with other retailers instead of hyping it up on Netflix's platform.
Well, I don't think it's a video game. It's tabletop. it'll be like something you can play, like Monopoly and things like that. I think it's gonna be similar to like Dungeons and Dragons and shit like that. Yeah. So other retailers could be like, I don't know, selling it in Target or whatever. I don't know. But if I don't know, to that extent, you could have a point. Like, that could totally be it, but it's not going to be a video game.
Oh, no, it's just
that's a different thing.
It's going to be like Monopoly.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, like build your own character type shit and play. I don't know any other games he's talking about. If he does it for big franchises, then that's cool. I got to look into that, because if we can get a Star Wars one,
that'd be sick.
Yeah. But Netflix taking it away after breach of contract, and then not even coming to the table to be like, hey, this is what you did wrong, and then letting them at least come to explain. That's really fucked up. I really feel like Netflix has been getting really sleazy with its people.
They've been getting grimy. I'm telling you, they've been acting up, bro. Even like the whole price hikes and everything that's been happening with them, it's like, what's happening in Netflix?
They're being sleazy with their people. They won't release. Well, I guess all streaming platforms won't release their numbers. Like why are they being so like sleazy about everything?
I haven't looked it up, but one thing too that happened was that I don't know if you heard about it.
If all he told them was to be on the lookout for that or whatever, like that's simple marketing.
I don't know if you heard, but apparently Netflix had got caught trying. I haven't looked it up, so I don't know the full extent of it. But they were caught too, filming pedestrians to make them unintentional scabs for a B-roll series, The Perfect Couple, and they got cited for that. Basically, Netflix, they got hit by the WGA unions or whatever, because they were trying to make it for a TV show, and instead of hiring background actors to make it look like there's people, they actually shot it on location and filmed the people.
Yeah, I heard about this.
So Netflix is out here doing some weird shit. Now they're getting fined by unions and whatever, and maybe that's why they cut them off, because they're like, hey, we gotta save some money because we gotta pay these unions. But
yeah, that's fucked up. Damn. But this is crazy. This is insane. Especially if they were working close with Zach. Like, I hope Zach is right behind the gaming company with this.
I haven't heard nothing from him either, and this has been a couple days. I was hoping we were gonna hear something from it too. Hopefully by Monday we hear something, because I think this came out on Friday, but Zach hasn't came out to say shit.
Okay.
He's like, he met with who? Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know about them.
I don't know. Rebel Moon coming out in December.
Yeah, December.
Hopefully not, because then the people that hate Zack Snyder for no reason is gonna really have a reason, in my opinion. Probably. But we'll have to see how this one plays out. Netflix is getting that dirt once again. Whatever happens with that, we will keep you guys updated. Moving on, though, apparently an actual movie of the Ocean Gate implosion is happening. Okay, so a producer, he made Blackening. He basically made the docuseries for the Ocean Gate sub that he called Salvage, and they're basically gonna make a movie. They have people that are gonna be writing. Brian Dobbins, he wrote Blackening and Blackish, and Mind Rights. Justin McGregor and Jonathan Kesey will write for the film. We're gonna get the Ocean Gate implosion. That'd be so cool.
This sounds fucked up.
Oh,
this sounds so bad.
They made a movie about the Titanic.
Yeah, that was beautifully done.
We haven't even seen this movie come out. What if it's beautifully done?
What do you mean? This sounds terrible. You're making a movie about something that kind of ended rather quickly, and families getting a closure. I imagine this will be very problematic once it releases. James Cameron managed to take something historical like the Titanic, invest a love story into it with Leonardo DiCaprio and the other chick, and then like it's not the same.
I'll be honest, and I'll say James Cameron had a leg up because he was able to gap the accident from when he made the movie. So when he actually made the movie, it wasn't like it wasn't so distasteful.
There's no way.
But you're not gonna tell me that he's not doing. These people aren't doing exactly what James Cameron did with the Titanic, bro.
It's not the same.
It is the same. People's tragedy made into a film.
How are they gonna stretch it out. It happened simultaneously.
They could talk about the events that led up to that. I don't know. And then eventually they get down to the sub, and
I prefer.
We're having a great time, and I don't know. They have a moment where they're in front of the, holding the controller. Beautiful music's behind, and
it's just that. It's just a JPEG image of that getting crumbled up. No, man. No.
I mean, if they show it, that'd be cool.
That sounds distasteful, bro.
I was always waiting for like that 3D model of like how it happened, and when I finally got it on the internet, like it just. It's crazy. It'd be. I don't think it. Bro, you can't say it's distasteful if they made movies about 9/11. They made movies about Titanic.
Did they make movies about 9/11 right after 9/11?
Nick Cage came out in that Two Towers movie. Yeah, that came out like a couple years after.
Wait,
it came out in like in 2006.
That was a couple years. This happened like months ago.
That's what I'm saying. So like one lets it breathe. This one, it's gonna take at least a year or so. It'll probably come out late 24.
I don't know, man.
25.
I think this is gonna be very problematic. I don't know.
I think you're a hypocrite, bro.
I don't think so.
You're a hypocrite. You watch docuseries about the same thing.
Well, yeah, I'd watch a docuseries because at least that is taking it seriously. This sounds ridiculous.
You don't think this movie's gonna take it seriously?
I don't think so. I'm sure it will, but in a poor way.
What?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think this is the right move.
I mean, I'm down for it. I don't know why you're so against it. They do the same thing in every single movie. They take somebody's tragedy and they just make it into a movie. It happens. They made a movie about that whole GameStop stuff.
Yeah.
Literally a year later. And that was fine. They just hedge fund everybody, and they were just like, oh, they're teaching the rich a lesson, and they made a movie.
I wish we could have gotten on that. But, yeah, no. This feels weird. This feels wrong. I don't know. Am I tripping? Does a movie about OceanGate sound wrong? Am I invalid in my feelings? Because this feels weird.
It feels weird because, like, it was a tragic accident. But isn't that... And maybe it's just because it's recent memory and because you were, like, a part of the news cycle. But I'm pretty sure the people that were a part of the news cycle of, like, Titanic are just like, this is so bad.
Get your mini computer away from me.
Get your blue blobs away. Get it away.
I don't know what any of this means. It's too bright. It hurts my... like, no. I don't think that's fair.
I don't think it's distasteful. I mean, obviously they're all distasteful. I think they're all distasteful because it's all about like tragedies that happen. But at the end of the day, somebody's got to make the movie. James Cameron passed on it.
Yeah, because he knew it was disrespectful.
Maybe he thought there wasn't enough movie to go around.
He's like, I can't get jiggy with this shit.
How am I gonna have them have an emotional? Well, I mean. There was a father and son on there. You can make that an emotional tie. You just slowly see each other get crushed. You're just like, it's like slow mo.
Oh my god!
Real quick, I don't know.
This all sounds bad.
Yeah,
you're not helping the case.
I mean, I wouldn't know how to make a movie about it, but I'd be okay with a movie about it. Especially, imagine the visuals of seeing that though. That's what I'm telling you, bro. It might be.
They didn't get that far into the ocean before they blew up, man.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
They went to like, I think they said like what, 400. That's deep. That's where pressure gets heavy, bro.
Well, no shit. We know that.
That's obviously where pressure gets heavy.
I don't know. I don't think so. This sounds wrong.
Okay. All right. That's fine. We'll move on for now.
When it comes out,
but when we see a trailer,
okay, we'll have to see a trailer.
Yes, sir. Oh, we got to see who's casting.
Oh,
if Leonardo DiCaprio's casting this movie,
he would not touch this. He's like, oh, Titanic 2? No,
he's gonna be the dude controlling the submarine.
How is that gonna go? It's gonna be like, hey, bro, this shit not working no more. Like, it don't work.
You're gonna just see him in the background, like.
No, the father and son are having like an emotional moment. All you hear is him playing with the controller, rattling it like.
What? Low battery.
What did he say?
Oh man, moving on though. We got we got 2 trailers to react to, and we got 1 clip. I got a clip from Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That's one of them because a lot of people are saying that the voices were off. I haven't seen it, haven't heard it, so we're gonna watch it together. But first, we're gonna react to the Percy Jackson and the Olympians teaser. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
Haven't seen it.
Yeah. Did you know the trailer was out?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
You said no.
No.
Okay. You sound sick, so I can't.
I
really...
know. It's getting worse. We gotta wrap up. But no, I haven't seen it.
All right. So let's go ahead and we'll react to this trailer. It's the Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
Scared of dentist in the dark.
My name is Percy Jackson. Am I a troubled kid? Yeah, you could say that. Bad grades, bullies, all the normal stuff. And then there's some stuff that's maybe not so normal. There you are.
You saw something. Something that no one else could see. The stories that I have told you about Greek gods and half-bloods, they are real.
Mrs. Jackson, things have changed. This is all developing a lot faster than we anticipated.
Grover, why is there half a goat in your pants?
So the important thing is not to panic.
Percy Jackson. We've been expecting you. The Master Bolt has been stolen. That is your quest.
Remember what I taught you. You're gonna need to be brave now.
That looks sick. I'm excited. Really it sucks not to see the original dude in the first one because I really grew up with him with the first one. I still love the first one. But this actually looks good. That scene that what's this scene? This is all from the first book. It's fucking good. I read all these books. But this scene right here, this is the scene that they didn't put in the movie in the first one. So like after the whole museum thing, he basically, and maybe this is a spoiler or whatever, but it's in the book. So if you don't read the book, that's on you. Yeah. They're probably going to play it out different. But he basically goes outside and he sees the three witches that can see the future and stuff? The fates or whatever? Yeah. They're basically waiting for him outside and basically talking to him. And then the teacher or whatever winds up coming out. And it's like this big old like ordeal or whatever. But like that whole scene was cut from the original release, and it was replaced by the apartment scene that never really happened in the book. And that was one thing that I didn't really like, and I understood when I think this was the movie that made me understand this and Harry Potter, that made me understood that like film adaptations are not the same as books because they got to take some stuff away to add certain other things, and for it to flow smoothly within the movies. But seeing that this is going to be a more faithful adaptation, especially with that scene alone, like I'm ecstatic. I'm happy.
Okay, so the museum scene is a different scene than when he runs into that vampire thing?
No, yeah, because he doesn't run into him. He finds
in the movie she attacks him.
Yeah, exactly, and that it's the same person. That's the teacher. That's supposed to be the demon or whatever. But it doesn't happen. He doesn't fight with them in the museum. He basically sees her, sees the demon, and runs outside, sees the fates, and then gets attacked on the curb.
Okay.
So, but they cut all that out and just made him fight right there, and then the dude in the wheelchair winds up saving him or whatever.
Yeah,
to keep
his
the
deep ass voice. Get away, David Lee.
Yeah, exactly.
This looks good. I can't remember the books too well. I don't even remember the movies, and I remember the second one being.
I remember them because they were like the first series that I was like invested in, and then Harry Potter came after that.
Yeah, Harry Potter. This looks good though. Can't wait.
Yeah,
I thought the kid was gonna throw me off, but he sounds like he's up for the job.
I will say the kid kind of throws me off because he's younger than what I would have imagined.
Well, yeah, he goes. I mean, when we got what's his name, he was already like a teenager basically. He's like a young teen.
He has to be like 12 or 11 or something.
Yeah, and I hear Percy in the books is like that young when everything starts happening. So.
Yeah, he was like 12 or something, and I was assuming that they made him in the movie like 13 after puberty or something, just to kind of make him a little bit older, like teenager years. But
no, he was like in high school. He was probably around like 15 or so.
Yeah, probably somewhere around there. So it's interesting that they're going younger, and it did kind of throw me off because I was like, those are little kids, but it might work for the emotional moments when like those scenes where, you know, it's supposed to be like, oh, you're just a kid, you can't fucking win and shit. It's gonna be a little bit more hard hitting because he actually is a kid, I feel. But it looks really good. More of a faithful adaptation. I'm happy Disney's doing this. This is
Rick Riordan being a part of it really helps it out too.
Yeah, exactly. R.I.P. Lance Reddick. This might be his last role that we see
Zeus.
him in. They'll probably just have him shape shift for like the next season or something, huh?
Most likely, yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah.
I want to see what kind of
peace.
we'll see what kind of performance he puts on. But here we go. We got the Scott Pilgrim clip. Now, I'm going to try to listen closely to the voices because a lot of people were saying that the voices were not matching up, which is weird because they hired the whole cast, did they not? So, yeah, what are you expecting from this? Have you seen this?
No.
Do you expect to hear the exact same voices out of them?
Well, it's the same people. I don't know what not matching up means exactly.
All right,
unless it's like, I guess dubbed stuff. Like if you watch like, what is it called? Like if you watch Train to Busan with American subtitles or whatever, or American dub, and the voices don't match, that's like the best way I can think about it. But I don't know.
All right, we'll check it out.
So, do you know this one girl with hair like this?
Ramona Flowers.
Ramona.
She's from New York City.
The Big Apple.
She moved here after a bad breakup.
She's single?
Got a job delivering DVDs for Netflix.
DVDs for Netflix.
I'm like her only friend in town.
She needs friends.
I forbid you from dating her, Scott Pilgrim!
Cool, thanks, Julie. Bye. Wallace, quick! What movie should I rent?
You're banned from No Account Video. You owe like a gajillion dollars in late fees?
Not the rental place. I'm using the World Wide Web. What should I rent?
Something starring a hot guy.
I think I need the name of a hot guy.
Fine. Lucas Lee. Best chest in the business.
Action Doctor. Let's hope there's a heaven. Thrilled to be here. Ooh, the game is over too. It's over a second time. That sounds fun.
But are you waiting for the DVD? It's gonna take a bit.
How long could it take?
So it is going to be a rehashing. November 17th is coming out. It's going to be a rehashing of everything. They're just going to change it up here and there, little tweaks, it seems like. I hear the exact same voices.
Yeah. I don't know what people are talking about.
Yeah, me neither. I was seeing a lot of people on, obviously Twitter and the interweb saying, like, oh, they don't sound the same. Like, why?
Either they're older. That's, like, the best I can think about.
Michael Cera, he doesn't sound like he did when he was younger.
Yeah.
But I could still hear the hints of, like, that old in his voice. Audrey Plaza sounds the same, so that's one thing that's very distinct. And
even the dude that plays Wallace sounds the same.
Yeah, he sounds kind of the same.
Michael Cera, the other one that kind of sound like he getting old.
Yeah,
to be for real.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen him in Barbie, but he looks older in Barbie too. I'm still gonna watch this. I feel like I might just stick to the movie, but I will still give it a shot.
I can't wait for this show.
It looked like you were gleefully happy.
No, it looks good. I can't wait for this show. It's gonna be good. He's just like, bye, Julie. That's funny.
That's what humors you.
Yeah, that was funny. And I like a lot of the animation. Like it looks exactly like the comics in the game and things like that.
I was gonna say I like the little noises, like the little bling and the boom, and like it
How
sounds like
they are.
Yeah, it sounds like a video game, and I enjoy that. So, one thing that they just didn't let us hear Elizabeth Winston's voice, which was
but we know what she sounds like. She's in Ahsoka.
I would have liked to have heard Ramona Flowers speak.
Yeah,
but that's fine. We'll have to wait and see. I'm excited. I'll watch it.
Looks good,
but
I'm down for that.
I'll probably be just rewatching the movie. The animation, man, it's just my thing, bro. I don't know why. I know what you're gonna say. Yeah.
What? I thought you were gonna take the words from me.
I was gonna be like, insert words here.
No,
you know.
I thought you were gonna like take false words out of my mouth, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think you're tripping.
Pee pee poo poo. That's what you're gonna say.
No. But it looks good. Scott Pilgrim out November 17th.
Can't wait to see that one. And last but not least, Henry Cavill and his haircut. We are watching the trailer for Argyle, which is Dua Lipa's, I think her film, like her first movie she's ever done. Dua Lipa? The singer?
Artist?
Yeah. Aren't you the guy who
she did the song with the baby?
Yeah. She's going to be in this movie.
She's going to be in it?
Yeah, she's going to be Henry Cavill's co-star.
Oh, dear God.
And Henry Cavill's going to have a god-awful, atrocious haircut. It's going to be crazy. Mathew Vaughn is directing this movie. The dude that did Kingsman and eventually doing a DCU movie. And it sounds like it's going to be a James Bond parody movie, kind of. So it's going to be interesting for sure. Yeah, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Does the concept sound intriguing for you?
No, but let's go.
All right.
I need to see it.
I certainly hope you dance as well as you dress.
There's only one way to find out.
You and I, we're not so different. Agent Argyle.
Little help? Hold on.
The book is phenomenal, sweetie, but what happens next?
It's called a cliffhanger, Mother.
Ellie, it's called a cop-out.
Whoa, hey! There's a cat in there! Oh my God, you're Ellie friggin' Conway.
Author of Argyle series, Ellie Conway!
I am such a fan!
Oh yeah? What is it you do?
Espionage.
Would you sign my book?
Here we go. I love this book. Come on.
Who are these people?
Real life spies.
Why would they care about me?
Because you're a goddamn fortune teller, Ellie. What you wrote in your new book actually happened, and you kicked a hornet's nest you didn't even know existed.
I'm in some really big trouble, Mom.
Oh, so now you're experimenting with drugs.
I want all assets on them now. I need her to write the next chapter.
God, I hate that cat.
It's time for you to meet the real Agent Argyle.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
What do you think?
I'm into that.
I was into it. I got a little confused there with the whole where the fuck did Henry Cavill and John Cena and them go?
That's what I thought too.
So they're gonna be inside the book. There's gonna be real people outside the book. We're gonna be getting
it's gonna be jumping back and forth between the book, unless Henry Cavill is really real life Argyle and she just got it right. I don't know.
It's gonna be an interesting movie.
Yeah,
it looked good.
Yeah, colorful.
Yeah,
really good.
Mathew Vaughn has a good eye for camera and stuff.
But I feel like we gotta address the elephant in the room.
What is it?
What the fuck was his hair?
That was like a big thing when you never seen the behind the scenes picture?
No.
Well, there was a picture that first came out. It was like a year and a half ago. Oh no, actually it happened when COVID was happening back in like 21 or something. And like it was that scene of them in the ballroom, Dua Lipa and his hair, and everybody was just gassing. I'm like, what the fuck is this type shit? Like, why is he, looking like this? Like, oh, Superman fell hard type shit. And it went dead silent, and I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, the movie never like got spoken about again until this trailer came out.
Yeah,
and then started making noise about the hair again. And it sounds like he's just trying to go for like a parody James Bond and didn't want to make him too handsome. And my thing is that you're playing a fucking parody of James Bond when people are over here trying to like promote you to be James Bond.
Yeah.
Oh,
weird. A little weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he definitely does look weird, and it's not like it's a hairline fix or anything like that. It's not like MGK's hair or whatever where he just had it redone.
Yeah.
It's more like he had really good shampoo and just like straightened it out with gel or something.
He's something about married it.
Oh, okay.
You don't know what that means?
No.
You never seen Something About Mary?
No.
There's this one scene, right? It's with Tom Cruise. Cameron Diaz is in it.
Okay.
There's this one scene. He's like this football, like manager or whatever, and he meets this girl that he's trying to like woo and stuff.
Yeah.
So he goes to the bathroom or whatever, right? And I forgot why he starts doing it. I can't even tell you the context behind it, but he just starts rubbing one out, and I'm assuming it's because she got him all hot and everything, and he just wanted to get rid of it before before he went back out there.
Yeah.
So he finishes up and everything, and she needs to use the bathroom. So for him to hide it, he dispensed it in her hair gel. And so she goes in there to get ready, and she does her hair, and she slicks it back, but it doesn't go down, and she doesn't notice it, and I guess it like comes back up and it stays up like this because she's like, oh, this is really good gel or whatever, and she puts it in her hair and it stays up like this for a good chunk of the movie, and he's just looking at her like, oh, like she just put my stuff in her hair, and it just stayed up. But that's basically what his hairdo is looking like. But I'll show you a picture. I'll show you the scene. But it's a funny movie. I haven't seen it. Tom Cruise is in it.
Okay.
It's when he was trying his bit in comedy.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of funny. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s in it too, I think.
Oh, okay.
When they were young.
But this looks good. Obviously, star cast. Seeing Samuel L. Jackson again, he's always gonna be a W for me.
Dua Lipa.
Yeah.
Dua Lipa.
Hopefully, she doesn't throw us out of it. Like most actresses that try to, or actresses, singers that try to act don't really nail this shit.
And I was thinking that too, and that's why in my head, I was thinking, okay, maybe that's why they were putting her in the dream sequences or in the book sequences.
Yeah.
So it's not that crucial if she doesn't act right.
Okay.
Because it's supposed to be a parody in a book. So I was like, okay, when I seen that, I was like, okay, so we're not going to rely on her the whole movie, which I personally don't think that she'll probably have those beats to be even a good actress just yet. But they're gonna I'm thinking that that's why they made it into like a book setting, to make sure that the viewer knows like, hey, this is a book and parody, and it's not gonna be real life type shit.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
So
but even then, and like even if she does fall short, she is against a stat cast, so you'll notice it immediately.
Yeah, but I'm sure, like I said, it might be a little passable thing because you'll just within the movie.
Seeing the dude from Iron Man 2. I don't know what it is, but I really like him as an actor.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
You seen him in that one other spy movie? I think he's starting to do his little dip in it, but he did another spy movie where it's kind of like this premise, and it's with who's in it? Emma Stone? I think Emma Stone's in it.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Okay.
Or no, not Emma Stone, the girl from Pitch Perfect. Anna Kendrick.
Oh, now I gotta check it out. It was Anna. I like Anna Kendrick.
Yeah, that it's a good movie. It's on Netflix. It's a good watch.
I really like him as an actor. I think I really got hooked in him since Iron Man 2. Like I've always wanted to see more of him. I just never like looked into his filmography.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, he's
really good movie. Argyle looks like it's gonna be good.
He plays a hilarious, like, goofy guy too.
Hopefully the bear picks him up.
The bear. Oh yeah, that's right. We did talk about that too.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Argyle, everybody, and this is going to be our last topic for this episode.
Yeah.
With that being said, Josh, if you want to let them know one more time where they can listen to us, catch a live stream, support us in a big way, do all that good stuff.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at FilmBros Podcast. We post a new episode or we get us up there for any news or movies you want us to cover. You can follow us on Twitch from when we go live, be part of the conversation. You can listen to us anywhere you get your podcasts at FilmBros Podcast. That's Spotify, that's YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, things like that. Subscribe, support us in a big way. Buzzsprout, link is in those bios. Subscribers get special perks and shout outs. You help us out. We recognize you for helping us out. Right, nice little exchange. You even get perks on the side, only meant for subscribers. And then when it's all said and done, subscribe to our YouTube at FilmBros Podcast.
And with that being said, we'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.